Always curious, Professor George Washington Carver committed his life to scholarship, community, and the integration of his Christian faith with higher education. It's in this spirit we welcome you to Carver Classrooms.
Today we turn to our final, and in many ways most important session. How might Christians in particular embrace the challenge of confident pluralism? And what are the resources available to us? In our last session, we discussed the civic aspirations of humility, patience, and tolerance. And the big idea of today's final session is that these civic aspirations are tied to the Christian virtues of faith, hope, and love. These connections became clearer to me as I moved from writing Confident Pluralism, which makes an argument rooted in this country's history and norms, to Uncommon Ground, which builds on that argument from a distinctively Christian framework. The argument in Confident Pluralism, which we've unpacked in our previous 3 sessions, is intended for anyone who cares about addressing the deep divisions in our country today. It is intended for people of all faiths and for people of no faith. And it stands or falls on the persuasiveness of the history and vision I have offered of American law and society. The argument in Uncommon Ground is intended for Christians. Shouldn't Christians, who are called to the theological virtues of faith, hope, and love, be leading the way for confident engagement across our differences? We can exercise humility because we have faith in ultimate things. Our confidence is not rigid certainty that admits no doubt, but is rooted in the person and work of Jesus Christ. We can be patient because we have all the time in the world. We have hope that things are going to work out. In fact, our sense of time is radically reoriented. We are part of the story of God that unfolds not over an election cycle or even a generation, but carries forward through God's loving devotion to 1,000 generations. And finally, we should see tolerance, distinguishing people from the ideas they hold, as merely the starting point, the minimal threshold, because we are called to love as Jesus loves us. We are called to love not only the people of God, but also our neighbors, our cities, and even our enemies. This connection to faith, hope, and love, rooted in friendship and community, should cause Christians to lead the way toward the pursuit of confident pluralism. But when we look around us today, too often Christians are not living into this calling. That suggests to me that we are not actually embodying and cultivating faith, hope, and love, which is a matter of formation and discipleship, and we might have a long way to go. But this isn't to say that confident engagement across difference is going to be easy. We're facing massive challenges around political identity, racial inequities, sexuality and the meaning of the body. We have challenges from technology and social media and the collapse of institutions. All of these heighten our differences and make it more difficult to relate to each other across difference. And if we're honest, these challenges are exploding inside our churches, even as they unfold all around us. But in all of this, we have the promise of the gospel, the presence of the Spirit, and the people of God around us. So let us go forward and remind each other that whatever comes before us, whatever differences we encounter, we can assume a posture of humility, patience, and tolerance, because our lives are rooted in faith, hope, and love.